Wuwuwir wakwakir fonir sisa ukopkipo kusu ukut. Kwanak apiyir, kwanaruk tatisir si usta. The kawa ir ap ofir wuwuwir wak fonui unka. Wuyoir nawarir kunuruk nuka uk kin piir ukir ifuir wu. Yawar ir wu swair susu no. Utarawi ir kupkitir sanir naur kurk wu pan. Kop awuka inir wu afawafi ithaturo turo uk. The kawa ir ap u ofir wuwuwir wak fonui unka. Utarawi ir kupkitir sanir naur kurk wu pan. Wuyoir nawarir kunuruk nuka uk kin piir ukir ifuir wu. Nararir uk u yorir. Kop awuka inir u afawafi ithaturo turo uk. Nara ir uk napir sonkut u sattir tatasir uyu. Yawar ir u swair susu no. Kop awuka inir u afawafi ithaturo turo uk.
Another pathetic gawker here to bask in the glory that is Iron Soldier, the Silver Division champion? What in all the Empire do you want? Questions? I'm going to waste my time on a pathetic dirt kicker like yourself? Not a chance. And please, don't bother firing yourself up to challenge me out of some fool notion of pride. Things aren't done that way here. The guards stop all fighting unless it happens in the pit, or they want it to happen.
Ignore this trash. He's been mocking the Imperial Army for years with his name, and I can't think why they haven't dealt with him yet.
Just leave me alone. I don't talk to spectators.
Tha'awir nis tu kuwiruk. Ayer fun. Soir ir wu nisir tintina yewir. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasiruk. On we pifir. Uk wiro ni sayir tatasiru yu. Wo nawir sir fu ni winyanakan. Wo sawir noka uk rapro ni apawafa son sir tu wirwo. Oksayir caritas fonir sisayir ir furk tatasir, ir karanos sakupono. Wo panaro wo sawir tatasi ni wasunir praun, wo sawir kokonatoy. Tir nik puntuir, poir nokauk, sawir takitir noni. Oksir watuafu ni froto usosawir, uktatasir ni ryoki. Kwan sawir fu ni sawir ukuar. Oksayir caritas fonir sisayir ir furk tatasir, ir karanos sakupono. Wo panaro wo sawir tatasi ni wasunir praun, wo sawir kokonatoy. Kwansa. Wano wiri fuwirok wasaf no sisitu. Kwawir ni sisir sisitu kun wano sisitu nig on wipifia. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasieruk. Kitir nonni nikuyo ipierta. Aka wo nawir sawir sonsinoka uk napir. Narawir wo ifuir uk sunurk. Uksier watoafu ni froto usosawir uktatasir ni ryoki. Sis. What? Wo you weir shakes he.
Hello there! I'm Han, though fans and, well, everyone else call me Hapless Han. It's not such a bad thing. Fighting in the lower divisions means I never run afoul of the Ravager. Our current champion has nearly killed his last two opponents. See, I look on the bright side of things. Even if my losses make people call me hapless, are numbers really that important? In my mind, it's trying your best that counts. You know, looking at you, I'd say you could hold your own in the arena. Are you thinking of signing up, or was there something else you need? You need to talk to Kui, the promoter. He'll start you out. It'll be great to have someone new around the place. You're new to this arena, aren't you? I'm happy to help you out. Do you want to know how to sign up, or are you just curious about the events? Every warrior here starts out in the qualifying round, where they face a lot of the hopefuls. If you're doing well, you'll end up facing me. After that, there are the bronze, silver, and gold divisions, each of which has its own champion and unique trials. I'm sure Kui the promoter can outline those for you. You need to talk to Kui. He will handle all the paperwork and give you some good advice on getting started. Every warrior here starts out in the qualifying round, where they face a lot of the hopefuls. If you're doing well, you'll end up facing me. After that, there are the bronze, silver, and gold divisions, each of which has its own champion and unique trials. I'm sure Kui the promoter can outline those for you. Sounds good to me. I'm sure you can find your way around, but I've been here all my life. I can tell you about the scholars, the common folk, and even a bit about the Emperor himself. Emperor's son is a savior to the Empire. He created a never-ending supply of water for us. It's just too bad his daughter isn't a bit more respectful of tradition. Then again, her father has changed the way things are done, so I suppose that's to be expected. He sealed himself away in the palace. When in the time of the drought, he was a leader and an inspiration. It's a shame that he's become so private. At his last appearance, he seemed so full of life. It was like he hadn't aged a day in 20 years. Perhaps trying to curtail his daughter keeps him young. Princess Leon is a willful child, they say. Don't take that to mean I know her personally, but everyone says she's willful. To be fair, that could be good in a ruler. Still, you have to respect tradition. I'm not exactly sure what she's done that's so bad, but I know it set the nobles aflame with gossip. I agree, and I would never question the Emperor. He is a visionary leader. It's just that before, we could see where he was leading. Still, I see what you're saying. Look at the endless flow of water he brought to the Empire. It's new, and he changed the face of the palace to pour the water forth to the lands. The first change to the palace since the time of sagacious Qian, in fact. That's a good reason to break with tradition, and one we all understood. Hiding himself away, however, that's something no one understands, and that isn't right. All right. I like them. Half are as crazy as a drunken chicken, but they occasionally come up with some ingenious ideas like the flyers. You'll find that the most revered scholars tend to keep to their garden. Given their lively debates, that's probably safest for the rest of us. If you're curious, the garden lies at the far side of the richer quarters of the city, across the waterway from here. Common folk from the Imperial City consider themselves superior to all other common folk, which is just silly if you ask me. The prevailing thought is that everyone outside the city has all the culture of a sunburned ox. Aside from that, the people here are the same as everywhere else. Some good, some bad. I'm happy to help. That's no way to be. You need to have a positive attitude here, and in all things. Heaven provides joy for all people if only they would take it. Records are just numbers on paper, or beads on the abacus. One fire or a heave of the earth, and they're lost forever. It's what's inside that counts, wouldn't you say? It's the only way to look at things. Otherwise, you go quietly insane as you slip into the blackness of despair. You must be having one of those days. Happens to the best of us. Right you are. Take care.
Fascinating. How very interesting to meet you. Fate may have robbed me of my sight at a young age, but I can still sense the energy within your meridians. Impressive, and yet somewhat strange. I don't know what it is about you exactly, but I would say you have been trained like no other warrior in this place. What I do know is that several of the techniques pioneered by what we call the new schools would have astonishing effects on one with your energy. Allow me a formal introduction. I am Dr. An, acupuncturist. I do not recognize your voice, but within it I can hear the energy of one trained for combat. Perhaps you should talk to Kui the promoter. He often seeks new warriors to do battle in these ancient halls. Acupuncture is the process of healing the body through the release of its own energies. There are other applications, such as an understanding of the pressure points of the body as well. I release these healing energies through the very precise insertion of needles into the skin. It truly is an art. Acupuncture is also most ancient science, studied as long as the Empire has stood. Those studies benefit the warriors in this place most directly. How can you fight in the dark? We learn these things through study and discipline. The nerves of the hand are incredibly sensitive. The eyes can be fooled by something as insubstantial as light. I would not say that losing my sight at a young age was a gift, but I have not let it become a burden either. My techniques for releasing your untapped inner energies are newer and slightly more radical, but even they benefit from a century of research and years of practice. Put simply, your body possesses incredible energies, some of which can fall out of balance, putting the body at risk of disease. Acupuncture releases blockages in your body's meridians, natural pathways for this energy, allowing your body to restore its balance. The new schools have found ways to optimize the body's energy pathways to make you stronger than you would be normally. You would have to practically abandon your pursuit of martial prowess to understand them more fully, but you have other skills to hone. My needles, used properly, can enhance your strength, restore your inner vitality, and unlock energies you barely knew your body held. The only thing I have found I am unable to affect with my needles is your inner magic. It seems even acupuncture has its limits. Of course, only through the broadening of our conversations can we broaden our minds. I'm afraid I can't help you. I know all the fighters, but I'm not at liberty to discuss them. I'm certain you understand the ethics at stake. My knowledge of their strengths and weaknesses would be a weapon in the wrong hands. Of course, have a look.
Intolerable. One more mistake, Kui, and I'll have you retired. Finding someone else is your problem.
But...
Enough! Find a solution and leave me alone.
This is not an appropriate time to... Wait a moment. You have the look of a fighter about you. Those hands, that stance, even your eyes. I'd know that look anywhere. You must be here to join the most glorious contest in the Empire. Isn't it fortunate that Lucky Cho and I were just discussing how this place needs an M-fusion of new blood?
This place houses the finest competition in the Empire. If you wish to hone your skills, you will find few challenges more worthy.
Come with me a moment and we'll engage-a-tate in some dissertation about the best decision you'll ever make. This is turning out to be an excellent day, most ostentatious indeed. I apologize if I'm using words beyond your grasp. Very few people can match either the supply or the command of my language. Don't get frustrated. Everything I say is perfectly cromulent, and it might do you well to embiggen your vocabulary before you fling accretions my discretion. Strong build, good shoulders, not half bad looking either. You've got what it takes to make it in today's arena. The question is, can you fight? Are you worthy of the arena? I say the answer is a clarion and resounding yes. I've heard that you were asking around and talking to some of our best and brightest. Your interest tells me all that I need to know about you. What say we get you signed up for the greatest attraction in all the Empire? The arena awaits. Do you have any idea how much paperwork I have to do when a contestant of the Empire's finest tournament dies? Wards and spells have protected fighters in this place since its construction. It's been easily 20 years since they failed. It was a dark day. My predecessor lost several good men when the spells failed during an event he'd ironically dubbed the Feast of the Ogres. I'm no sorcerer, but I suppose it could happen. Still, any magically inclined person would notice something like that. Even if someone removed them, the protections would reweave themselves automatically in time. They've done so before. You will face the flashing blade of Crimson Kana, the stern resolve of Iron Soldier, and the, troublesome triumvirate of the Sung Brothers. If you defeat these veterans, you will face the Ravager, our newest champion, who tore his way through the divisions to replace the now-retired Raging Ox. Go ask them yourselves if you want to know more. Hapless Hans faced more than a few of them, too, if you want his perspications. Here you fight for silver. Glory is yours for the taking if you value it. The rewards start small, but in the gold division, you could easily retire on your winnings. In fact, our last champion, Raging Ox, did just that. Suddenly up and left to enjoy his winnings, clearing the way for the Ravager to take his place. You'll start low and advance on my say-so, but I can already tell you're going to expel in this place. You'll not languish in the qualifiers for long. That's the spirit of the thing. Now, what name precedes you in your travels? Right, a fine name indeed. But it won't sell, not at all. We need something more memorable for the crowds. Think of something that would sound engaging, ringing down from the rafters. That's how we'll bill you. Raging Dragon, huh? Sounds fast and powerful. I like it. Are you positive that's what you want? Take your time. You have to be happy with it. Silver Phoenix. Silver Phoenix. Conjures up quite an image. Are you certain? Take. Now that's a decisive name. Tiger lifts the mountain it is, if you're certain. Take. Raging Dragon, huh? Sounds fast and powerful. I like it. Are you positive that's what you want? Then that is what you shall have. Come and tell me when you're ready for a fight, and I'll get you started. Since you're new, you'll start in the qualifying rounds. The money's small at that level, but it's there. Any other questions? One other thing. You should talk to the other fighters now and then. They will be watching you, and you should get to know them as well.
We're all one big happy family.
You're a big, happy idiot, Han.
As you can see, they always have something to say. I must say, I'm disappointed. You're ready to start your career, but you walk away. Insuspicious beginnings, my friend.
The brothers Sung greet our fellow combatant warmly. I am Sung Bo, this is my little brother Boo, and my older brother Sui.
Do not bother me. Introductions merely clutter the mind.
I don't think they was bothering you, Sui. It's Bo being talked to.
Do not worry too much about us, though. There are many fights between you and the Sung brothers, but we shall humor your questions. You'll only deal with the lower ranks at this point. Bother us about fighters when you advance to a respectable level.
We don't know nothing about the army.
Please excuse Brother Boo. He occasionally feels the need to speak on things to which he has not given his full attention.
We should not discuss the city, brother, while we are within its bounds.
Do the stars show the dragons in ascension again? Then we should not speak of the city for now. The very topic is risky. Please accept our apologies. I'm certain one of the others would be happy to tell you about the city.
We don't know nothing.
Oh yes, we shall.
I want to hear that you're ready. What do you... Han isn't a champion exactly, but he's solid enough that all fighters must beat him before they can leave the qualifiers. I like hapless Han personally. He never quits trying. Reminds me of a young me trying to clamber my way up from the streets. He'll go far, you rest assured. I'm always happy to share some history with this arena's greatest fighters. Would you like to hear some of the tales? The first thing to know is that this arena was founded under the auspices of sagacious Tien himself. The Emperor's blessings rest upon this place as the one true test of martial skill in the Empire. Interestingly, while we call it the arena commonly, its full name is the Trials of the Seven Gladiatorial Schools of Beneficent Light. A bound volume of the finest parchment contains the arena's rules. This tome holds over 3,000 rulings, the first dating back to the birth of the arena. Besides the name being unwieldable by the tongue, largely due to inaccuracy, there are far more than 7 schools recognized across the Empire now. Further, the Order of Beneficent Light disbanded hundreds of years ago. They are no longer the governing body of martial education, so these are not their trials anymore. Still, we hold on to the name as a reminder of the glory days. Many emperors have graced this place with their presence from a secure private viewing room. Our current emperor has not shown as much interest in the past decade or so. When he was younger, Emperor Sun was a regular attendant, but I'm sure the years have stolen away the time he once made for us. No one knows them as well as I do, and that's likely for the better. Technically, we're supposed to lead a donkey around the fighting surface before each match. I consider that to be one of the tradition's best overlooked. Enough asses wander the streets around this building these days that I expect my predecessor's spirits will be satisfied. What? For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here. I like to keep things simple and organized. Any other way, and things get more convoluted than the celestial court on the Emperor's birthday. When you're ready for your match, ask me about it, and I'll give you a quick summary of your opponent. I'll be setting up your matches, of course. Various enchantments woven in this place keep the fights from being deadly, but they're no less real. You'll feel the pain if you don't keep your defense up. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the beast.
Spirit thief. Longsword. Spirit thief. Longsword. You will fall.
That was an impressive beginning. Normally I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well. Go ask them if you don't believe me.
That really was a fantastic bout.
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask. One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we? Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Stone Immortal. Ice Shard. Paralyzing Calm. Dire Flame. You will fall here.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts. The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you, and now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue hauled into the ring. I want you to disconstructulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless Han. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you. I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time, and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A chance to leave the qualifying division as Raging Dragon faces Hapless Han.
Spirit! Paralyzing palm! Stone Immortal! My style blaster! Paralyzing palm! Dire flame!
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
Kui, that will be enough. I bring you a message from my employer, Kailan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think. Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the guild and reports directly to Kailan. Kailan oversees things here in the arena, and the guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is an ex-champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kailan couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild. The Guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the Guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the Guild has recently been inhumed. Kailan sees this as an opportunity. Do not discuss them openly. The Guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone. I would not recommend that. I'm sure the authorities are already aware of their existence. Reporting them for activities you cannot prove is like stirring a chamber pot with a short stick. You're the one likely to lose in that situation. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Kui. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match. I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him. I'm staying out of it. What do you need? Kailan is truly in charge of this place because of his association with the guild. If he gets things his way, he'll seize control of the whole guild before long. It's nothing to concern yourself with. If anything comes up with the guild or the serpent, I will negotiate and deliberate with them, not you. Now that you have qualified for the bronze division, your challenges will be more difficult, but you'll earn greater rewards. I want the very abacuses of heaven to rattle with the name Raging Dragon, so I've prepared something memorable. The guards rounded up a group of subhuman things around the great southern forest. We're going to release them into the ring in groups for you. Are you ready to get started? If that's the decision you want to make, it's your profanation. You just let me know when you've changed your mind. Kailan is truly in charge of this place because of his association with the guild. It's not...
Look who stands before us, brothers. You are the unstoppable force that left poor Han a cluttered pile of optimistic wreckage at the side of the arena. I'm sure he will bounce back as fresh as ever, though. He always does. We can tell you to be careful whom you ask about such things. Secrets kept in the open are the most sensitive.
The serpent who dwells in the shadows of this place. Like an air spirit, he is everywhere and yet invisible to the eye.
Brother Sui puts it well. Kailan the Serpent is the guild's will in this place, powerful enough that only the brave or foolish discuss him at any length. Besides running the most expansive betting operation in the Empire, I speculate that they do much more than that, but we have been smart enough not to find out. We question things in the arena, though. For example, why are we allowed to fight as one body when the rules suggest such a thing should be illegal? The guild cares more for a good show than fair play. Good shows keep the bet money flowing, especially if a favored fighter were to suddenly and surprisingly lose.
The serpent who dwells in...
Brother Sui puts it...
I agree. I don't want them around anymore. They scare me.
If you let fear guide your decisions, Brother Boo, you will find that you have walked the coward's path.
Philosophy aside, the Empire certainly could wipe them out. But wouldn't another similar organization appear? Regardless, if something could be done, the Empire would have done it already. A wise choice. The Guild always prefers that people not speak of them. Now, what do you need to know? You have earned the right to ask about your peers. Would you like to know about Soldier, or our current champion, the Ravager? It seems unfair, does it not? However, you must ask yourself if you wish to be beheaded instantly when you consider this topic. Let us put it this way. Individually, each of us is an excellent warrior, fast, strong, or smart as it may be. When we faced the Ravager individually, he beat us quite handily. Word spread that the Ravager boasted that he could beat all of us together. And so we accepted. He was victorious. Those who guide this arena were so pleased with the spectacle that they created a new challenge. Us. The thought was that anyone who couldn't defeat the brothers Sung would be obliterated by the Ravager. I'm sure we have saved more than a few lives. I prefer not to give that impression, but we have been placed in this situation by the Ravager, whose deadly nature requires our presence. In time, perhaps, that will change. We will see. Fighting as a group is not so bad. We provide a unique challenge for higher-level fighters, and fighting this way has its incentives. Suffice it to say that the Serpent makes it worth our while to fight as a group. You would benefit as well, if you could beat us. Would you like to know about... Ah, there's a mysterious one. He left the Imperial Army under circumstances. His skills quickly earned him a high rank in this contest. I expect he saw things during his time of service that would blanch the ever-rosy face of Jolly Ying Sun the Intoxicated. And yet, pretty Lili is always hanging off him. We have often speculated why she is so interested in him, but such things are not fit for polite discussion.
There is something unnatural about that one.
He smells bad, too. Like he's sick all the time or something.
Though my brothers sound like offended courtesans, they have a point. We can't deny the Ravager's abilities, but he lacks precision. Strength is part of his technique. In fact, he may be the strongest fighter here in years. Stronger even than Raging Ox, our last champion. The Ravager's prowess lies in his incredible stamina. Blows that would fell lesser men are like the bite of a gnat to him. If you face him, use your strongest techniques. All types of combat styles have achieved championship levels. Perhaps you have heard the tale of One-Armed Chen, who became champion centuries ago by virtue of being the only fighter on the roster. According to the legends, his stomach reacted violently to eating fish. This spared him the food poisoning that eventually defeated his peers. Chen's portentous regurgitation occurred at a questionably hygienic banquet held to honor the arena. The salmon, by all reports, was more than a trifle off. The Ravager's prowess lies in his incredible stamina. Blows that would fell lesser men are like the bite of a gnat to him. If you face him, use your strongest techniques. Indeed. We wish you luck and promise to attend your funeral after your attempt. The Ravager's prowess lies in his incredible stamina. Blows that would fell lesser men are like the bite of a gnat to him. If you face him, use your strongest techniques. Oh yes, we shall see you around. Of that you can be sure.
While I cannot see you, your appearances are hard to ignore. Hapless Han stumbled in here for yet another treatment after you defeated him. Impressive handiwork, though I find myself in a position to wish you were less skilled, especially with Han. He is a continual strain on my time. I think you misunderstand the situation. I have no problems treating Han, but I receive no compensation for tending to injuries. I shouldn't complain, though. The arena pays me to look after you fighters, and Han's constant injuries have helped me hone my healing skills to a razor edge. Be well.
Boy, that sure was something. I wouldn't have wanted to be me out there, except that I was. But I learned so much from facing you. Next time I should try some of that fancy stuff you do. I'm not exactly sure how you did it, though. You know, that's a good idea. I tend to focus on myself more than others. Perhaps I can learn some new tricks. Thanks for the encouragement. All the contestants know about the guild. They are the real power here. Keep your voice low. We don't want Lucky Cho to hear us talking about this. I don't know about the guild itself, but around here the man in charge is named Kai Lan the Serpent. He's a powerful magician and incredibly deadly in battle. Retired Imperial champion, in fact. I never have to deal with Kai Lan. I'm not good enough to compete with the big players, so he isn't interested in me. I prefer it that way. I've heard from some of the others that they sometimes ask fighters to throw matches, or worse. It may not actually be that bad, but I always advise new fighters to be careful, just in case. It's not that open, but Lucky Cho and Kai Lan don't bother to hide their actions much. I wonder if the rest of the guild appreciates them being that open. As to why the Empire tolerates them, I know of at least one promising fighter who went off to join the Lotus Assassins not too long ago. It was like they recruited him after seeing what he could do here. Maybe there's some arrangement that makes the Lotus Assassins overlook this place. I don't know about the guild itself. He's a power...
Wuwuwir aki thita hirir koni a fafatir? Satha afso ni wakwikir fonir no ni wo yak kuptiyir. Kop.
You look a shade better than the usual cowardly dogs we get through here. Just a shade, though. So you've earned the right to talk to me. Lucky you. Iron Soldier's the name, though everyone just calls me Soldier. You may as well do the same. You ground the hapless one beneath your feet like everyone else does, huh? Han's pathetic for wasting time on the hopefuls, if you ask me. Then again, watching Han stumble to Dr. On every time he tries to handle the real Bronze Division fights is one of the most entertaining things about this place. I don't pay attention to the Bronze Division. Who has time for all the hopefuls and their empty dreams? Now go on and leave me alone. We've got... Given half the chance, yes. If you can't handle it, you don't need to talk to me. There's some people who call the way I operate walking the low path, but they're fools. Talking about the low path is an attempt to deride the philosophy of those of us who see the truth. There's no real altruists in this world, just people who explain their actions with reasons that are easily palatable to the masses. I refuse to kowtow to those kind of lies. I'm a warrior. People either challenge me and grow stronger, or run away like weaklings. Like I care. It's in my nature to rail against simpering fools, and by being true to the discord I cause, I'm made that much stronger. That's all there is to it. I'm not here to hash this over with you. If you want that, go bother the scholars or one of those saps in the Black Leopard School on the hill. I don't pay attention to the Bronze Division. Who has time? Now go on and leave. Good.
Uktatasir ni ryoki, ka sisayir na work a wukategi. Uksir wa toafu ni yefroto usosawir, uktatasir ni ryoki. Kwawir uyu itarir noka sisayir na workur, wo nisir wir u noka thakuna fifir. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasiruk, kitir noni nikuyo ipiyir ta. Wo panaro wo sawir tatasi ni was sunir prawun, wo sawir kokonatoy. Wono wiri fuwiruk was safno sisitu. Kwawir ni sisir sisitu kun wano sisitu nig on wipifir. Ukir wo yo
Many people try to break into the Bronze Division and fail miserably. You should be proud of yourself.
You deserve it.
Crimson Kana is the champion of this round. You'll have to face her eventually. Be ready when you do. Now that you have qualified for the Bronze Division, your challenges will be more difficult, but you'll earn greater rewards. I want the very abacuses of heaven to rattle with the name Raging Dragon, so I've prepared something memorable. The guards rounded up a group of Are you ready? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
These monsters crave the flesh of man.
Ice Shark. Focus. This is paralyzing power. Ice Shark. Paralyzing bomb. You cannot compare.
That was a good start to the Bronze Division. Those beasts are far stronger than they look. Next, you're going to step into what we call the Pit of Pain. It's not the most original name, I'll admit, but that's 500 years of tradition for you. The arena floor will be set up with ancient magical devices. They will attempt to fry you to a crisp, much to the crowd's delight. Your job is to stay on your feet for the course of the match while they fling deadly projectiles your way. I'd suggest dodging, but that's just me. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The Pit of Pain. Only the quick survive its fiery embrace.
Fantastic! A test of speed passed with exceptional celery. Now
Your sudden and polite silences are always appreciated, Kui. I have a message for Raging Dragon. Kylon the Serpent has, as promised, been watching you intently. You have impressed him so far, and he is interested to see how you fare in your next match. The Serpent foresees your victory in the next match, and he has backed his prediction with silver. He sincerely hopes that his faith in your skills was not misplaced. That is all. If you will excuse me, I have some people who need to be spoken to.
Ha! Well, I'm certain that won't be a problem for you. Did you have a question for me? Kana's a bit of a mystery to me. Keeps not a coin of her winnings, but is unbeaten. She's in this purely for the challenge, I think. If you face her, you'll find that her swordsmanship is deadly. Kana's studied techniques only found in the prosperous East, the provinces she calls home. She's even got a standing offer to pass the secrets of her blade mastery onto the first fighter to defeat her. So far, no one has managed that feat. Ah, yes, your next fight. There's been a bit of a change in plans. Not that it will affect you too much, of course. It's all part of the traditions of the arena, you see. I have word that you're going to be facing a fighter specially chosen from the guild, you see. As soon as you're ready, you'll be facing him instead of a normal match. The guild's the organization that controls the betting here. That's not all, though. Kylon the Serpent has a lot of influence here as well. I have to bow to certain pressures. I don't like it that much, but smart men don't voice that opinion too loudly. Not around here. No, I can't, actually. The Serpent, who's the guild's chief agent in this place, has specifically requested you. I was originally thinking that you'd done well enough to face Crimson Kana for the Bronze Division Championship. Things change when the guild is involved, though. A noble and ultimately meaningless sentiment, my friend. Regardless of what you wish, I have to give in to certain pressures, and you will go no further than this match if your pride is so offended. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Many of you are asking yourselves why the Serpent would return to the ring. Am I not retired? Yes! But does that mean I do not care about your entertainment? No! You've all seen the fury and the intense focus of Raging Dragon in the ring. Now, it's time to put these abilities to the test! And so, the Serpent gives you a real spectacle. Have your silver handy to place your wagers. I give you Evil and Terror Incarnate.
Dire Flame! Ice Shard! I must... Staff! Focus. Spirit thief. Longsword.
That was an exceptional fight. I haven't seen demons in the ring before. I understand your concerns. We wanted to test the demon against an exceptional fighter, you see. I'm convinced that you deserve a shot at Crimson Kana. Your victory has sealed the deal. That reminds me, I was asked to instruct you to talk with Lucky Cho before your next match. I understand, and it is never my intent to impediment your progress. That said, Lucky Cho is not a man I can ignore. Go, speak with him now. The sooner you do, the sooner I can return you to the ring.
I watched your last match! Word is that Kana's blade will cross with yours next time you're out there. She's undefeated, you know. It's always nice of you to stop by and chat.
Looks like you're still walking after that last match. Too bad. I'm sure Kana will fix that once you challenge her for the division championship.
Wuwuwir aki thita hirir koni a fafa narari.
While I cannot see you, are you here for a treat?
You go away.
Now.
Look who stands before us, brothers. Kana's next opponent, if the rumors are true.
Ukir kawuwir wo fonir ir karanos sakupono.
Don't stare at me. I'm not here for your amusement. Go on.
Aren't you a sight? I am Happy Endings' famed courtesan, and it is a pleasure to greet you. Especially such a fine figure of a man. So many men are made soft by city life.
Notice the painted face. She only pretends to beauty.
I would love to chat with you and learn more about you, but alas, I can't. I'm on exclusive retainer with the proprietor of this place, and he does get so jealous. Farewell, gorgeous.
I don't know you, but you're in here, so I know you're not common street trash. I hope for your sake that you have enough silver to warrant my time. You're not half bad for a man. You're in my good books as long as you have the silver to stay there. Sweet Poison Lin's my name, and I trade in rarities of a magical nature. I guarantee I have something you need. I have my sources, some of them rich, some of them poor, and all of them very concerned with their privacy. These fine wares may have changed hands a few times over history, but that's the nature of such things. If you're that worried, don't buy anything. Do you have any idea how much magic the arena itself holds? These walls have seen more than you or I can imagine, and there's enough security for me not to worry. What the Imperial bureaucrats don't know won't hurt them. First they decree wind maps off limits, and now there's concern over magical artifacts. Certain items have always been considered questionable, but enforcement has been more strict in the past few years. All I really know is that the restrictions have done wonders for my customers' tolerance for raised prices. What more could I ask for? Magical enhancements and knowledge. Have a look at my wares and see for yourself.
Before you face Kana, I'd like to present you with a mutually beneficial arrangement. Fortunately for you, my employer, Kailan the Serpent, has a vested interest in your success against Kana. This is Sweet Poison Lin, a master of the Toxican arts. Lin, this is Raging Dragon, the fighter we discussed.
Your introductions are unnecessary, Cho. I know this one personally. I trust you'll consider this discussion private and potentially very beneficial.
Not even if it offers you a chance at the Bronze Division Championship? Crimson Kana's rise to Bronze Division Champion has been good for business, but she has become troublesome of late. She believes that the Serpent runs the arena with little concern for honor, and she's right. The problem is that she cares. The Serpent and I believe that Kana needs to be stopped. We want you to replace her as the Bronze Champion.
It should be a simple matter to slip a slow-acting but extremely deadly poison into Kana's drink before the match.
She will be dealt with regardless. Why not benefit from our actions and ensure that her removal is clean?
When Cho approached me regarding this matter, I felt that it might be in the best interests of the Greater Guild if I were involved.
If you accept, the guild will cover half of Lin's usual fee. The remaining cost would be roughly half of your winnings from defeating Kana. You fool! The guild is the authority in the arena. Anyone you approach would know better than to tangle with us. If you're that sure, why are we still talking? You want to cheat for the thrills? You're going to make this difficult unless I make this easy, aren't you? Fine. Only 1/4 of your winnings will be deducted, if you accept, that is. Will you go ahead with this? Do you have the will to take your advantage? If that is your choice, then so be it. You may deal with Kana on your own. I strongly advise you not to bring this up to anyone. I hope my point speaks for itself.
This Kana woman would appreciate knowing what you have learned.
Our business is concluded. It is time for you to leave. Now that you're not fighting with the trained apes, the bets placed on you will actually be worth the time they take to process. Every time an event like the arena occurs, some people enjoy adding a certain edge to the proceedings. When those people feel like investing in a particular fighter's chances, Lucky Cho is the man they want to see. I handle the vast amounts of silver that pour through this place, and I collect when people fail to meet their commitments. Watch that barbed tongue of yours. It could come back to snag you. My role here at the arena doesn't really concern you, since fighters can't benefit from bets. I will come to you if something else comes up. If you want to bother someone with inane queries, I suggest you speak with Kui, the promoter, about the arena, or the tavern keeper about the city. Those two will have more than enough time to waste on you, I'm sure. Now, was there something important you needed to ask? Good. Only come to me when you have business to conduct. I'm not here to debate philosophy or discuss the conditions of the weather.
You would speak again with the Sung brothers? How fascinating that we have earned so much of your attention.
Well, I cannot. Are you here?
Hello again. It's a lovely day, isn't it? My bruises are healing nicely, and I really couldn't be happier. You have something on your...
What do you...
Qua falliti, ir fallit cucupsa tatasi. Sayer uyufuis patuyer? Uksayer kunni kakno aku quawir fuisir aku fallitar. Uksayer caritas fonir sisayer ir furk tatasier, ir karanos sakupono. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasieruk, on mi pifir. Wono wiri fuiro tarir noka sisayer na workurk tantir. Aka wo na wir sawir sonsi noka uk napir. Nara wir wo ifuir uk sunurk. Wo sayer pinir sokart ayawir.
I'm not really in the mood. Good.